All right, so here's a project. This is what we call a buff and coat. So whenever I tell you there's two options, there's a sanding option and there's a buff and coat option. This is a buff and coat option. They didn't want to go through a full sanding due to timing. Somebody has to move in here. But this is the problem here. Unfortunately, the painter, so I always say you could paint first or paint last. It depends on who you are getting for a painter. In this case, the painter got paint all over the floor. This is one of the misfortunes of the painter going first. Because now with the buff and coat, it doesn't take everything off the floor like if you were sanding. If you were sanding, it brings it down to the bare wood. Everything comes off the floor. Bare wood, it comes down to bare wood. Then you apply the stain, the 3 coats, the stain 2 coats, or just the coats. Now we have to try and get these stains off the floor. I mean, these paint marks off the floor without taking the stain off the floor. This is a colored stain. This is brown stain. So if I go too deep, I'm gonna take the stain off. And then if I go to patch in the stain, you're gonna see the patches from the stain. So that's why I always say, if you get a painter first, they gotta put down ram board, some type of plastic. They have to cover the floor so they don't end up with this. So this is gonna be a challenging one for us. And in situations like this, where he has to scrape every piece off the floor, I'm gonna buff it with the screens, and then he scrape it. But even then, if you scrape too deep, you're gonna scrape the paint off the floor, the stain off the floor. And it's everywhere, down the stairs, upstairs, like look upstairs. There's no need for that if you're painting a house. You know we gotta do the floor, somebody's moving in here. So this is challenging. I gotta get this off without taking the stain off the floor, or at least get it the best we can do. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna buff everything. I'm gonna see what I can get off without ruining the stain. If for some reason I can't get it all off, I'm gonna tell the homeowner this is the best we can do with the buffer. And then if they choose, they can send their guys in here to clean everything with whether it's a light Brillo, a sponge, and they can try to get it off with the sponge. If that doesn't work, then they're gonna either have to deal with the little bit of paint that's left there, or it has to get a full sanding. These are the misfortunes of a buff and coat. It doesn't take everything off the floor, but it does give you a new coat, a new shine, a new top layer. So stay tuned, check out what we do. If this works for you guys, then we can make it happen in your house as well.